Greetings and welcome to In Depth. I'm Dike Rostant. Ahead of the 60th anniversary of Trinidad and Tobago's independence, the Palm Foundation presents Music Across Borders. To share more on the initiative, we are joined by His Excellency Álvaro Sánchez Cordero, Ambassador of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela to the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, as well as educator, historian, and member of the Palm Foundation, Valerie Taylor. Welcome, Ambassador. Welcome, Ms. Taylor. Ms. Taylor, we want to start off with you, please, asking what specifically is the Palm Foundation and what does the Palm Foundation do?
Hi. Palm Foundation is a foundation that was started by Gillian Bishop, actually. She's the main instigator. A foundation that is in memory of Pat Bishop, Pat Allison Bishop. And the words Palm stands for Pat's Art, Literature, and Music. Since Pat's death, the foundation has been tasked with making her legacy live. So we support the arts. And while it might sound as if we are supporting classic arts only, there is a very heavy component of indigenous activity. There's PAN, and there's, of course, the fact that we want to be involved not just with Trinidad and Tobago, but with the region. So it's the arts of the region, the indigenous arts, classic arts, and we are trying to promote them in memory of Pat Bishop because of her love for art, literature, and music.
And I think in terms of Pat Bishop's efforts to bring or to bridge those two ideas and energies of classical music, indigenous instruments. And I know some people would have raised their brows and frowned upon the fact that the Tassa music was used for the Handel's Alleluia chorus, as well as the way that steel pan has been used in many of the works that the Lydian singers do. But Ambassador, I want to get to you, please. How do you feel about the work being done through the foundation to uplift the cause of Venezuelan migrants in Trinidad and Tobago?
Thank you very much, Mr. Dickens, for having me. It's a great honor. First of all, we are thankful to the Palm Foundation, as Valerie very clearly explained the aims and the history of the foundation in terms of promoting and fostering the arts and the culture. And especially something that she said that is very important to underscore is the unity of music, arts across borders. And that's the title of this concert, mainly by Jeremias Marcano, tomorrow at the Central Bank Auditorium, which is Music Across Borders. Venezuela and Trinidad and Tobago, we are, I wouldn't say divided, but we're united by a common sea. And especially we can see that in terms of arts and culture. And this is an area where Venezuela has lots of talent here in Trinidad and Tobago. And the Palm Foundation is doing a brilliant job in order to bring to the forefront Venezuelan musical and artistic talent. And we are very thankful for that.
And is that part of the reason, Ambassador, that you decided to be patron of this concert?
Of course. That's there are many reasons, to be honest. The ones that I will mention, they're not necessarily in that order, but one, of course, is our gratitude to the Palm Foundation and how they, as I said, help or have been helping Venezuelan musical talents in Trinidad and Tobago. The fact that this concert is to pay homage and tribute to the 60th anniversary of Trinidad and Tobago's independence at the end of this month. The fact that we very much like to support in every possibility that we can provide all our support to Mr. Jeremias Marcano, because he recently was awarded a scholarship to go to the UK and complete his oboist music studies over there. The Gilham School of Music and Drama in London. So he's really working very hard to pursue this goal, which is an objective that is going to be beneficial for Trinidad and Tobago, for Venezuela, for he himself as a musician, as a human being, but it's going to benefit everyone, and we will very much like to endorse and support all his efforts and all of Palm's efforts to support him in order for Jeremias to achieve this important educational and artistic and musical goal.
All right, and let me bring you back into the conversation, please, Ms. Taylor. And so we've spoken about a concert. We know the name of the concert. Give us some of the details, please.
Okay. Now, last month, there was a concert called My Musical Journey, which featured Jeremias and some select musicians. And it was such a lovely occasion. I think that's what the ambassador thought. It should be done again for a wider audience and under his patronage. And we are really very grateful to the ambassador for all his work in getting this concert up and running. He is actually the one who got the venue and has invited loads of very interesting and important people. So the concert is going to be featuring Jeremias on the oboe, a beautiful instrument that is not very often heard. And he is going to, in the first half, be accompanied by Enrique Ali, a virtuoso pianist, and they are going to present some oboe concerti in a very classical genre. Then Jeremias is going to be supported by some singers, some classic singers. At the last concert, we had Eddie Cumberbatch, but it would appear that we might not be able to have him. He's having a little difficulty right now, but we have Nikita Gadsby, we have a number of others who will support Jeremias in the first half with some spiritual, Negro spirituals. Then we go to Theron Shaw, that absolutely wonderful guitarist, and we are going to see Theron and Darian Diet do some numbers including jazz, beautiful calypso renditions, and I think a Mexican piece. And Nikita Gadsby is going to be part of that. And then the last half, we have El Grupo Venezolano, which really is very interesting because the PALM has been working with Jesus Beltran Acosta for many, many years. And last year, we had the idea of supporting some musicians who were in Trinidad, Venezuelan musicians, and offered them a place to practice. And they did a wonderful concert at Christmas time, Esplendida Noche. But it was in the heart of COVID, and really we could not have had the audience we wanted. And it was absolutely wonderful to bring back this ensemble of Venezuelan Sistema-trained musicians to present a program that includes a lot of traditional Venezuelan music. And, that is what the evening is going to be about. So it's going to be the oboe concerti, Negro spirituals, and of course, the Theron Shaw, Darian Diet, and El Grupo Venezolano, who brings a lot of energy and a lot of vibes to the concert.
Now, Ms. Taylor, I'm hearing names. So when I hear Darian Diet, I'm thinking of Birdsong. When I hear Nikita Gadsby, as well as Eddie Cumberbatch, I'm thinking of Lydians. And these are institutions that have this level of service built into their ethos. So I'm wondering, though, is that part of the reason, or why specifically Jeremias, that this focuses on to say, okay, well, we are going to support this young man and his dreams in this way?
Well, I think we would love to support many, many more young people. And I think I'm really very grateful that the ambassador has been so supportive, because that's the kind of support we are looking for, to give so many young artists, whether musicians, dancers, a platform and an opportunity to improve their craft. So Jeremias just happens to be the one who needs it most. He is going off to Guildhall School of Music in London in a few weeks, and he really needed funds to do this. He has to show that he can support himself. Although he's been given a scholarship, he needs funds. So our main effort was to find the funds for Jeremias. He's been trying to help himself with a Gofundme page, but the concerts last month and the concert tomorrow evening is going to mainly go towards supporting Ermias, lucky guy and a very deserving candidate. But we really hope that as we go forward, we can do the same for many others, not just Venezuelan brothers like Ermias, but other Trinidadian students, Tobagonian students, other islands, people who really are talented and who deserve the opportunity to improve their craft in order to give back to the area, to the region.
And this is something that you've been consistent as well about, Ms. Valerie, in the sense that in a different dispensation, you would have the opportunity to impact the lives of so many young women as well as their families. So I want you to lay that out for us. Give us a little more context in terms of this window of opportunity that Ermias is having and not being stymied, as it were, by the fact that he may not have all the resources that he needs at this point in time. What is that opportunity like? You said that the oboe is not something that is dime a dozen. You don't see people stoning dog with oboists, but set that context out for us a little more, thanks.
Well, the thing is that, you know, Ermias came to us through his uncle, Jesus, and he studies the oboe, and the oboe is a really very difficult instrument. I think in discussions with you, he has pointed out that in an orchestra, you can find so many violins and so many cellos, but you usually find one or two oboes because it's a very difficult instrument. And Ermias is the only graduate in our UTT program of the oboe. And he's gotten this opportunity through an audition with London's Guildhall School of Music to attend Guildhall to do his master's there. And while he's been offered a scholarship, you need to show funds in order to satisfy their immigration, student permitting, and that sort of thing. And, you know, there are many, many talented students and young people in Trinidad who would do wonderfully well on the world stage if they got the opportunity. As you said, I've dealt with young women all my life, and I can definitely tell you, I have seen absolutely talented people who cannot go much further because of the need to show the kinds of funds that you are required for further study. So we really jumped right in because it would have been an awful pity for Ermias to lose the scholarship that Guildhall offered if he could not show the kind of funds needed to support at least his first year. So I am hoping that we galvanize a lot of support around this business of funding young people. It is absolutely impossible for many of them to fund themselves. The costs are astronomical in some ways, but the benefit cannot be, it's a really valuable opportunity. And Ermias has said he would love to come back to Trinidad and teach the oboe. And, you know, it's an opportunity that I really hope that those people listening will support by coming out tomorrow evening or getting in touch with the Palm Foundation to offer any support that they can, because we will really need to be looking for the funds for him over the next year.
And with that, we want to thank you very much. But Ambassador, the final comments are yours before we pull the curtains down on this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, I would just say to restate the words that Valerie has said in terms of inviting the audience of Trinidad and Tobago to the concert tomorrow. I attended the previous concert at Napa and it was fantastic. People not only will be helping Ermias, but they will certainly have a great time because it's an awesome musical experience. And last but not least, if you just allow me a few seconds, is that let's not forget that Ermias, as well as the many Venezuelan musicians from El Grupo that will perform tomorrow, they are from the very important musical program of Venezuela called El Sistema, which is a whole government-sponsored musical program that currently is teaching more than 1 million children, mostly of unprivileged background, to improve their musical education. And this important program, which has been replicated throughout the world, is where Ermias and the others come from.
And it says something when you have a program that is homegrown, that people find the value of and decide that, okay, well, I'm going to take that and replicate it in my neck of the woods. But Ms. Taylor, let me also ask you about the GoFundMe account and the specific information in terms of, like, yes, we know it's tomorrow, but where is it, and any information pertaining to that. Thank you.
All right. Before I say that, I really want to thank the ambassador. The ambassador has been phenomenal in supporting Ermias and supporting this concert. So, Ambassador, I'm taking this opportunity on behalf of the PALM and on Trinidad and Tobago for giving us this opportunity to have this fantastic 60th anniversary sharing of our mutual culture. So tomorrow evening, Central Bank Auditorium, 7:30, sorry, $200. And, you know, anybody who wants, if you need any more information, you can call 612-6345, 612-6345. And we will be happy to reserve tickets or give you any other information, including Ermias's GoFundMe account, so that you can support him going forward. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Ambassador, Ms.
And
Taylor,
thanks a lot to the Central Bank as well.
Definitely, and doing it out of Pat's Art, Literature and Music Foundation towards the expanded horizons of this young man, Ermias. And we want to thank you so much for the work that you're doing. And on behalf of the entire TGT News team, I'm Dike Rostant. This has been In Depth. Thank you so much for joining us.